My people. It says 30 seconds left, but it's not. It's not really 30 seconds left. It's over. The countdown is over. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel where we talk about music licensing, business, and music production. If you guys love any of the previously mentioned, which I kind of have a feeling you do because you're here right now, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on all my latest content. So I see we got Minnesota in the building. What's up, Q Rock? Kai Win Franklin, what's good, man? Tallahassee, that's what's up. Yeah, it's super warm here, man. It's like, dude, it's gonna be 73 today. We about to end this live. I'm going outside. Like, I don't even about to go enjoy this weather. Yeah, man, it's beautiful here. I think it's like 66 right now. It's gonna be a high of 73. It's crazy. Kansas City, Missouri. What's up, A Moss? Charles Jefferson from North Carolina. What's good? As you guys are coming in, let me know where you're from. Let me know what you do. And yeah, man, we about to dive into some dope questions, I guess. If y'all got questions, if y'all don't have questions, then I don't know what we're gonna do. But yeah, let's see. Shavante Hughes from Virginia. That's what's up. Khalil from Sacramento, Cali. What's up, Khalil? Gabrielle Davis from Flint. What's good? Did they ever fix the water situation in Flint? It was like, it was a big issue and then it kind of dwindled down. So I wonder if they ever got that situated. Aaron, producer and songwriter from Maryland in the house. Thanks for doing these, Clint. You rock. No problem, Aaron, man. That's what I'm here for. Glad this glad this helps you guys. If this helps you guys and you find it valuable, drop a like. So I know that y'all digging the info that we share here on these live streams. And then I'll keep doing them if y'all like it. Appreciate y'all showing up. Appreciate the like. So Gabby said yes and no. Long story short, ex-governor Rick Snyder is just now being held. Wow, just now? Yo, that's crazy. That was like a couple years ago now, right? Because I remember down here, like there was a couple stops like where we went and donated water. That's crazy, man. Brazil is in the building. What's up? Was it Diago? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's what's up. We got Nevada in the building. (2013 and 14? Wow. Has it been that long? Yo, that's wow. Yeah, that's insane. So Khalil hitting us with the first question tonight. Not tonight. It's like noon. What am I talking about? Anyways, the question is, how do I copyright created instrumental tracks? Let's go to copyright.gov. It can kind of get confusing depending on what you're trying to do. I have a detailed course on how to copyright music on my website. Just go to shop.clintproductions.com. And there's a course. It's a video course where I share my screen and I literally walk you through copywriting music and a couple different ways you can do it. So yeah, if you want like detailed information on that, because it's easier to show you than like to explain, because it's not the most intuitive thing to do on the website. But yeah, just go. That's where you do it at. It's copyright.gov, and yeah, it'll get you right. Appreciate you coming through, Khalil. Kashina was good. Singer, songwriter, producer from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Glad to be here with you today. I'm glad you're here with me today. How about that? I'm just starting out creating on my DAW. That's what's up. Get that work in. East Bowen Beats, North Dakota in the house. That's what's up, man. Welcome. Corvell from Cali, what's up? Charles Jefferson. Listen, I tell y'all every time in advance, I butcher names, so I apologize in advance. Charles said, should I master my beats before submitting them for TV and film stuff? Absolutely, man. Mix and master before you send out. You want to make like your first impression the best impression. You want your stuff to be mixed, be mastered, have that volume out, because you don't want to miss out on an opportunity just because your dope track was perceived as lower quality because the volume was low and you know the mix and everything wasn't good. So yeah, definitely make sure everything is mixed and mastered before sending it out. Appreciate the question, Charles. Kai said, you mean register for copyright? Exactly. Once you create something, right? Once you're in your DAW, you create it. Once you write the song, you record it. Technically, you own it. You are the copyright owner, but going through copyright.gov allows you to register that copyright. So in the event of a lawsuit, it just gives you a little more solid evidence that you actually own it, and there's there's something that you can physically trace back to that ownership. Of course, there's sessions and timestamps on that stuff too that can help aid in that. But yeah, it's you registering something that you already own technically, just to clarify that. Uplifted Productions in the building. What's up, yo? What's up, John Ches? Welcome to the live stream. The question is, do I have to register a song with a pro before sending it out to a music library? No. Usually they do it for you. I always tell people, like, make sure y'all ask just to be sure. Make sure they register those tracks on your behalf, because usually what happens is they'll go in, since they're technically the publisher, they'll register it with you as the writer, them as the publisher. Sometimes they retitle it or put like a little abbreviation at the beginning of the track, and then that's it. That's usually how it goes down. So don't stress out if it's not already registered with the pro. Usually those music libraries, they'll take care of that for you. Good question, man. I have to cough and I'm waiting for it to come out. So that's why I was like silent for like 2 minutes. Excuse me. Eastbound Beats question. I know there is a format for sync music, but I have a bunch of beats made for artists. Can I still submit those beats, or should I rearrange them into more of a television format? If you're trying to submit them as instrumentals, you'll definitely want to rearrange them for that TV format. I personally had to do that too. When I first got started, they asked me for a bunch of beats. It was just like, yo, these joints are way too long. It was like, we only need them to be, a couple minutes max. So I went in and tweaked some things, and and then just resubmitted them. So yeah, I'll definitely recommend formatting those, unless you're gonna get an artist on them. If you're gonna have somebody write to them and then you're gonna like pitch full songs, then you may be able to get away with it. But yeah, if it's just instrumentals alone, I definitely recommend reformatting those joints. Shout out to everybody that's coming in. As you guys come in, just let me know where you're from, what you do, and welcome to the room, or the live. I keep saying room, y'all, like I've been on Clubhouse a lot. Is this different than exporting stems with the mastering done for the whole mix, or do you tweak and master each stem? That's another good question. So this is what I do, right? When I'm sending, so say I'm creating stems, like say I got a drum and bus mix or stem for a like TV brief or whatever. So I send the full version, that's gonna be mixed and mastered, and then I send that drum and bass version, which unless they say they want it unmastered, that's gonna be mastered as well. So what I do is like I'm just bouncing everything out from the same session. So I mix and master everything, so it's easy for me. So I can just go through and mute whatever tracks I don't want in the stem that I'm creating, and then I'll just bounce it out. So it's gonna have that same mix and master consistent on every stem that I send. And that's yeah, that's how I do it. So usually, yeah, all the stems are gonna be mastered. It's all gonna be mastered. Sometimes a company will ask me like to send unmastered stems, and then they have their people go and master it. So it just depends on who you're working with and what they're asking for at the end of the day. Good question, Aaron. We got Malcolm from Tampa. What's up, man? JC, what's good? I'm registered under my old stage name on BMI. How do I change that? Or should I just continue to register under the old entity? That's a good question. You might want to reach out to somebody at BMI. Yeah, reach out to BMI and be like, yo, this is the situation. And then they should be able to help you. They should be able to change it. Worst case scenario, you just create a new BMI account and just register everything. But I would try and just change it first and see if that's the easier route to go. Appreciate you coming through, JC. Corvell, what's up? How can you get back in good relationship with a library, because I'm not having communication for a couple of months, so just move on? That depends on how the relationship ended. Like, did it end on a bad note, or you just haven't heard from them in a while? If you haven't heard from them in a while, then just reach back out with like some new music. Be like, hey, this is what I've been working on, wanted to share it with you guys. Let me know if you need anything specific or whatever. Just reach out with some more work. Excuse me. Here we go with the live burps and whatnot. Yeah. If it ended in, you know what I'm saying? If it was nothing, like if there was like no dispute or something negative, yeah, man, just reach back out, rekindle that flame, get that work. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming through. Everybody that's coming in the room, man, let me know where y'all from. David, what's up? No doubt, man. Shout out to everybody on my email list, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Justin, I've recently started producing with Logic Pro. Logic Gang is in the building. Shout out to Logic. I don't know how to mix and master yet. Is it something I can learn quickly, or is it trustworthy to outsource? So I know for me personally, it took some years to get good at mixing and mastering. I mean, you gotta go through a bunch of trash mixes at the end of the day. Like, you just gotta mix, keep practicing, and eventually you'll get better. Keep watching tutorials and videos and courses on mixing, And then eventually you'll get better. You kind of know what sounds good, what doesn't sound good. It took me, I want to say, a solid 5 years to get solid at it, to where, you know, I trust my ears and kind of know what I want stuff to sound like. You can outsource, of course. If it's not your strong suit, if you have no desire to learn how to mix whatsoever, it's up to you. I recommend doing it because you add more value to yourself as a producer. You can monetize that skill, you know, like I mix and mastered projects that I have nothing to do with sometimes, and it's another stream of income. So you can do that. Also, if you ever get like in the music licensing side of things, you add value because now you can turn over projects even quicker because you mix and master your own stuff. You have all the sessions right there. You can make a quick edit, bounce it out, send it off immediately, versus outsourcing, waiting for that person to be available, waiting for them to get the files back to you, and then you have to send the files. So it just takes more time. So I recommend every producer at least learn how to mix and master, at least get the basics down to get your stuff sounding solid. But yeah, it's up to you. But it's not, I wouldn't expect to like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you may be a super lightning fast learner. Like, I don't know. It may take you quicker than it took me. If you want to learn how to do it, just learn how to do it and then just trust the process and let it take however long it's going to take. Good question, though. Jermaine from Houston, what's up? Benny from Minnesota, what's good? John is from Boston. Man, y'all all over the place. David from LA, that's what's up. We got Harlem. DJ Spence. I don't know what Soundtrap is. What is Soundtrap? Let's look it up. Is it oh, so it looks like it's kind of like a DAW, like online. You can just make music. Yeah, I never heard of it. This is my first time hearing about it. So yeah, I mean, I don't feel any type of way about it. I've never used it, but it looks pretty cool. Modi from Cali, what's good, bro? How to work with major producers without having to sign a label, and also how do I get my music to hit the ears of well-known artists? So it's a bunch of different ways you can go about it. Networking, doing contests. You don't necessarily have to be signed to work with major producers, but honestly, most of the situations that you'll get into working with a major producer, they'll probably want to sign you to some extent, especially if you're working under them. It's going to be some type of exchange in value there, especially if you don't have any credits, you don't have anything. They're probably going to want some it's going to be some type of publishing joint. So that's just what it is. But I don't know. I guess my question would be, why do you want to work with major producers or major artists? Like what's your goal in that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if you want to work with a major producer just to get to a major artist, why not just try and go the route of getting to a major artist? You You know, it's a lot of different ways to kind of navigate this business depending on what your goals are, what you're trying to do. I know me personally, like I would take part in like contests and stuff. Like one of my first major placements came through coming in second place in a contest. Like I didn't even win the contest, but just because I participated and, you know, they liked the track, and ended up turning into a relationship, and then that relationship led to a conversation of that happened with another artist working on the album, and then I got pulled into that situation, and then that led to other situations. So, you know, you never know where it can come from. So I just say, just work on getting your music out there, get in front of as many people as possible through whatever contests, social media, and just build relationships from there, and then build with artists that are around you at your level, and then come up together. You know what I'm saying? Like create a sound with other local artists, get your chops up, and you know, just kind of create your own movement, man. So hopefully that helps. Kendrick, what's up? I appreciate the birthday wishes, man. My birthday was the 22nd, man. So yeah. Your boy is 34, I think. Do you only do hip hop cues, or do you do any other ones? For example, tension, Americano, like tension. Yeah, I do like tension cues, tension hip hop, ambient stuff. I've done like some childish, mischievous kind of music before. I've done some gospel Christian music. Man, like a little the R&B, pop stuff. Yeah, man, like a little bit, not everything, but you know, stuff that I can listen to and kind of replicate. So yeah, definitely. Zamira, what's good? No doubt. Do we always have to give up our masters for catalog spots? No. I mean, it depends. I guess every deal is different. Usually still own the master, like for a sync placement or something like that. You still own the master and the copyright. A lot of times you're giving them the rights to exploit that master, that copyright, and publish it and license it. But you should still be the owner of it. If you're signing like a record deal or something, then that's different. A lot of times, you know, if it's a record deal or like a major label deal, then yeah, the label's gonna own the masters. Just depending on the deal. Let's see. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Let me know where y'all from. Yeah, man. I try and drop a few gems here and there. Help the people out. What's up, Jay? Thanks for coming through. When I submit my music to music libraries, is it okay to use an Apple Music link? I don't have website set up. My music is through CD Baby Online. I would say no, because so like if it's like an Apple Music link, right? And I think they only allow you to have like a preview of the song, and then they only get to hear like a little bit, and you know that could be a tease, right? They want to hear the full thing. you know, so I recommend using, I mean, you can use like a free service like box.com and just upload, you know, some MP3s in a folder and then send them the link to that folder, and then they can stream it from Box or they can download it. Sometimes they'll take a track. They may be in the middle of a project when they open up your email, and may want to audition that joint to a scene that they're working on currently. So you want to make it easy and accessible. I don't think Apple Music, an Apple Music link or something like that, I don't think that's going to be the best move, as it'll be kind of limiting, especially like if they don't have an Apple Music subscription, or, you know, if they have to pay for the song just to be able to listen to the whole song, it might not work to your advantage. So that's what I recommend, Jay. Young Mills, what's good? My problem is the streams aren't coming like they should, and I do promo what is left. So it sounds like you're an artist. Are you an artist, Young Mills? Yeah, you're an artist. I see you mentioned it in the comments. So yeah, man. So listen, man, you got to get creative. Like if you just depending on streams alone, like, bro, it's gonna be a struggle, because them joints, hey man, they don't pay a whole lot, and it takes a lot for it to even be significant, right? So you got to come up with a game plan. You got to come up with a marketing and branding plan to where you're communicating and you're building some super fans, right? Like, do you have an email list? Like, are you giving something away valuable to your fans or possible fans? Do you know what your fans like, where they hang out? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go find those places where people who would like your music are hanging out, and find a way to give them value, find a way to captivate them, and stand out to where you can get them to sign up to an email list. And you start building some merch, start doing some live streams, some live shows, showcasing your talent, your music, something, man. You gotta get creative and figure out some ways to get people on that list, create other streams that can complement what you're trying to do, come up with creative ways to launch and release your music, tell your stories, like whatever, you know what I mean? So that's just a couple ideas, but yeah, man, it's all gonna boil down to just coming up with a good marketing plan to get yourself in front of more people and make an impression to where you can start building a following, and then start building other things that can bring in income for you as an artist. So yeah, man, hopefully that gives you a little bit of perspective and something to research and work on. And then like music licensing, you should be trying to look into that too, just as an artist, man. Like, that's a great opportunity to get your music in front of a lot of different people. Do you have a mentorship program? I don't. I've been getting questions about that, and I've been thinking about it. I don't, but I do one-on-one consultations. If you ever want to sit down with me one-on-one, chop it up, that includes 3 song or beat critiques, and just give you that personal one-on-one advice and attention, video call, and all that stuff. Just had one not too long ago, and yeah, man, they're super dope. An hour long, and I'm an open book, you know what I mean? Drama in Utah, what's up? Justin in Miami, Chris from Arkansas, what's up? Dynasty on the mix. What's up, bro? I recognize Dynasty on the mix from the gram. We got Texas in the building. Another good question. If you guys are enjoying this, man, give me one of those thumbs ups. Those thumbs ups. Like the video, share it. I'm gonna be dropping gems on here for like the next 30 minutes, so get your people in here. Do music libraries shy away from samples, loops, or is it okay to submit beat songs with samples like from Splice? Libraries, they do shy away from the samples, because it's just it's a headache, man, to get stuff cleared, or wondering if stuff will clear, and yeah, man, it can be a headache. So yeah, man, I'm real for TV and film stuff. I just don't use samples at all. I don't even use them from Splice because of that. I just don't want, I don't want the headaches of and the publishers don't either. So yeah, I just stay away from them, and it just makes life easy. It's a good question. I think that's a fair price. It all comes down to what you feel is worth it for you. If you don't hear people say you're too expensive sometimes, then you might be priced too low. That's an indicator. Depends on demand. If you're getting a lot of requests for mixes and you having a hard time keeping up, probably time to bump up that price, because the demand is so high. You can only, you only one dude, like you can only mix one record at a time. So yeah, just use those things as indicators. But I think like 150 to mix, 50 to master, that's definitely fair. My mixing prices are they're like around, they were around there. I think I raised them recently, but yeah, they was like around the same. So yeah, no, that's definitely fair. How can I create an email list? You can that's on YouTube. You can YouTube that. Yeah, just YouTube how to create an email list. There's a bunch of services out there. I use MailChimp personally, but there's other services. But yeah, man, all that stuff is on YouTube, super searchable. Check that out, and then figure out what you can give, what you think would help your potential followers or fans, and figure out creative ways to kind of reel them in with that, and sign them up on the list. You give me your email, I'll give you something that helps you. That's how that works. What's up, Tiny from Colorado? IMF 410, what's good? How many months does it normally take someone to get something moving? Really great question. Takes about 15 years, and then you'll be on your way. No, seriously, I want y'all to be realistic, right? Like, it's not gonna happen overnight. Like, you're not gonna get, I'm not gonna say that, because you may be one of those rare people. I mess around and say that, and then you land a commercial tomorrow. But normally it's not gonna happen overnight. Like, it's a process. The first phase is getting your music together, getting the playlist together, figuring out your game plan, what kind of music you're gonna send, getting the metadata together, getting files format it correctly and all that stuff, right? It takes time. So you have to do that. Then you move to the submission phase, where you're just spending time focusing on reaching out to people. That takes time. Like for me, I did it for like 30 days straight, just reaching out to people every day, sending emails, submitting through websites, phone calls, like whatever. Like I just spent a month doing that. And then once that happened, you kind of go into the phase of just like reviewing deals and hopping on calls with different companies and things like that. So then you get to the part to where you have some deals under your belt, and you're signed to some music libraries, and then you start creating music and sending it out to them. So now you're just in that creation phase where you just banging out tracks, sending them, doing the same thing over and over again. From that point, there's no telling when something will actually land. It's different for everybody. Sometimes it's quicker, sometimes it takes longer. For me, from when I started the process of trying to get 10 placements in a year, I think it took me a little bit over a year to kind of get 10 placements. And mind you, that was kind of, I had some relationships already, but that was, that kind of gave me a little bit of head start. But it's a process, man. So once you actually get something in a library, depending on how active they are, and it could be, I don't know, man, it could be like a year and a half before you actually see a placement. And sometimes you don't even know. Like you may get a placement a couple months later, but you won't know because they usually don't tell you. And then you got to wait for your royalty check to come around, which takes like 6 to 9 months after the TV show submits the cue sheet to BMI, CSAC, or ASCAP. So it just takes a while. And that's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's just for the first one. But the key is like, you can't like create 3 beats, reach out to a couple people, send those 3 beats off, and then you be like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna just wait till I get a placement. And then you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot, because then you're gonna wait. You may get the placement, but now since you stopped working after that initial submission, now you got to start that process all over again. Whereas if you keep working, keep submitting, keep creating, keep sending, keep submitting, and just going over and over again, now stuff is starting to stack on top of each other. And then you look up and it's like, yo, you getting placements like every month, every week, every day, like different shows from stuff you submitted, back last year. Sometimes it's still getting played on new shows because it's already in the catalog. So that's the key, really. It's just to keep going. Like, don't create something, sit and wait, and then expect something magical to happen. So hopefully that helps give you some perspective. Sheldon Springs, nah, man, you made it. I'm a musician, so it's easier for me to just kind of create. I just create everything myself, melodies and chords and all that stuff. Good question. What's up, Thomas Jeffrey, man? I produce a lot of instrumentals I think would be perfect for sync licensing. How do I get them in the right format? And how do I find the right libraries for my music? Good question. So I answer all of these in my course, Road to 10 Placements. And I also have it's a video course on how to structure music for TV and film. But I'm going to share with you guys how to find libraries that work well with what you do. Because there's no one size fits all approach. to this, right? So the key is obviously knowing what you do best, right? Whatever style of music you do best, take that genre, and when you're searching for music libraries, look for libraries that produce, or not produce, but publish a lot of that style of music. So when you're doing your search, if you're on Google, you searching music libraries, you throw that keyword or that genre behind music libraries or before music libraries, and just search and see what they're placing a lot of. Go through their catalog, narrow it down by genre, see if they have a lot of that. And it's two ways to approach this, right? Like if you find a library that has what you do, and they place a lot of what you do, that's dope. Then you just give them more of what they already love to do and pitch and place. If they don't have a lot of what you do, on the flip side, you can reach out to them and be like, yo, I noticed you don't have a lot of these kind of tracks, and offer to do like a production album for them, or like do some of those tracks for them, because they may be trying to build up their library to where they have more of what you do. So that's another way you can kind of be like a go-to guy for a library, is just by offering them something that they don't have a lot of that they need, especially if it's a genre that gets used a lot in TV and film. So that's like a huge gem. Like, don't tell nobody I told y'all this, but that that's a secret to where you can kind of be you can be a go-to and really build a good relationship with the library that way. But yeah, just this is the link to the free 6-step guide. It lists out the process if you want just a brief overview of the process. If you want to dig deeper, you'll have the option to get the course as well. Once you get that free guide, and the course is pretty much my blueprint of what I did to get my first 10 TV placements. So yeah, it's super duper helpful if you want to see what that process is like. So let's see who else we got in here today. Tiny, what are some good habits you've created to become more efficient with your creating time? That's good, man. Throwing this phone out the window. This joint is a distraction right here. So getting that out of my view so I don't see it. If I see a notification or email, like it's hard to get off track, especially if you're getting an email from like a client or something like that. You want to respond, you want to help them out, but sometimes you just gotta focus. You gotta lock in. It's like, yo, this time is set aside for creating. So some things that I have in place, I have designated days where I'm just creating, right? So Monday through Friday is usually my production days. This week it's been super whack and weird, so I haven't been creating a lot, been handling a lot of like business stuff. Or Monday I took off because it was my birthday, but so yeah, so like Monday through Wednesday I'm creating. Thursday, Friday is more so content creation stuff. And I create a list. Like I sit down in the morning and I create a list of what I want to get done. And my goal is to knock off those important things by the end of my work day. And that keeps me focused, and I just check it off as I get it done. Some other tasks that may keep me from being creative or that just takes me more time to do, I delegate to my assistant and let her do stuff that just takes me too long to do. So that helps a lot, to where it's like, I mean, I can't do everything, right? Like I can't sit here, create the content, edit the video, then like upload the video and type out everything and then upload files. To like I got to the point where I was spending so much time doing the admin stuff on music licensing, like uploading files, doing metadata, filling out spreadsheets, that like I wasn't creating. So I had to change that. So that's what I do. That was the solution to that. It's just getting another set of hands to help out with some of the non-creative stuff. What's up, creative man? Appreciate you coming through, bro. M. Grigg, what's up? If you're getting 10 placements a year, what does that look like in terms of money? What's the range? Man, just 10 is nothing. 10 will get you a few $100s. Maybe. It just depends. But 10 is not a lot. Like 10 won't change your life. It takes a lot to get and then it depends. Like there's no range. Like everybody wants a range or a number. There is none. Like it can be pennies to hundreds and thousands, right? Because you got upfront fees. Sometimes you can get an upfront fee. Sometimes you don't for a sync. So that ranges in itself. And then the royalties depends on how long the joint was played, what channel it played on, what time of day it played on, how much ownership you have in the track. So if there's multiple writers, that cuts it down. So yeah, like there's no range, man. It's 0 to thousands, I guess. Like to get to, I don't know, man. It's just because you can get 10 placements on like NBC or ABC or something, and the royalties would be great. But then you can get 10 placements on Oprah Winfrey's network and make $3. That's how crazy it is. So it just depends. But then you got networks like MTV and VH1 where they replay over and over and over again. So then those 10 placements can turn into 100 placements real quick because you get paid every time they air. So yeah, sorry I can't. It's just there's no set number, man. It's all over the place. What's up, Sleep on Me Music, aka Brett Kobe? Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming through. So if anybody's new in here, let me know where you're from and what you do. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate the birthday wishes. Horace said, is it more worthwhile to try and reach out to supervisors directly or to focus on submitting to libraries instead? I say try and do both if you can. It's gonna be harder to get in touch with a music soup. They have relationships established and they're super busy people. So it's always gonna be easier to get in touch with a library. I always recommend, especially if you're starting out, I recommend going the library route because you got to get familiar with the process, and I think the libraries do a really good job in helping you get familiar with what's needed and how things are presented versus going in cold with a music soup and have like no idea, and they like, yo, this person's mad green, like they have no idea what's going on, and then they may not want to work with you because they're trying to move super duper fast, and they don't have time to sit and like teach you some of the basic things that you should know in music licensing. So I always say the library route is easiest to go, especially if you're getting started. It gives you that experience, and it allows you to leverage the relationship that they already have in place with music supervisors. I appreciate the question, Horace. That was a good one. Remy, appreciate that. From Jersey. Mad love, man. Hopefully you guys are safe out there. I know y'all was getting smacked with the blizzards and the winter storms and all that stuff. What's up, Master G? Mad Science Beats from Denver, what's up? Wes Laylock from Canada, what's up, Wes? Georgia, educator and artist, what's up? Cyril, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Kendrick, good question. Yes, I have. It's a lot of work, a lot of extra work. So I just have to make sure everything is in place, so that I'm still being, because I'm at the point where like I still like to create, right? And I don't want to just do. It's a lot of admin stuff that goes along with that. So when I do, you know, it's just making sure everything is organized the way I would like, so I can still be creative, man. Bay Area Cali's here. What do you think about Musicbed? Good library to pursue? Yes, Musicbed is legit, man. I have some stuff with them, I think. I need to reach out to them, and it's been a while since I sent them something. Like they were one of the first companies I reached out when I started this. But yeah, I've been hearing good things. So yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out, connect with them. Thanks for reminding me about them. But yeah, it's a good library to check out for sure. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Let me know where y'all from, what y'all do, whatever questions y'all have. I'm an open book for like the next 7 minutes. So yeah, just hopped on here, man, to share some gems. If you are liking the information, be sure to like this video and share it with your people. Tiny is back with another great question. What do you think is the biggest reason producers fall off sync licensing? Impatience. That's the #1 reason producers fall off in sync licensing. Because listen, like it's this period that you go through when you try and get into licensing where it's just whack. Like you have to go through making a bunch of tracks. Well, first making a bunch of tracks, reaching out to people, right? You're doing all this work on the front end and you don't even know if your stuff is getting placed. Like you don't even know. Like nobody. I reached out to so many companies. I can count. Like it was one company that reached out and told me I had a placement on the Kardashians. There's one out of all the companies that I reached out to. Everybody else, man, I was waiting for royalty checks. But you do a lot of work on the front end. You don't see, most cases, you don't see money up front, and you don't know if stuff is getting placed. And then by the time you realize something is getting placed, it's been about 1.5 years or so, and then you're like, oh, okay, like stuff is starting to land, and then you kind of pick up momentum. But if you can work through that like initial phase of like not seeing anything or knowing if stuff is working, you'll be okay. But it's just working through that, and a lot of people quit after that. It's just like, yo, like it ain't working. So I think that's the biggest one. And I think another one is I think another one is just stopping. Like well, it kind of ties into it, but just stopping too soon, like only sending like 10 tracks and then stopping and just waiting, you know what I mean? I think that's a big mistake. So just don't wait, just like keep going. Don't think about it. That's a really good question. Yeah, and it's like, and that's how you have to think about it. Like, it's a long-term play. Like anything royalty-wise, it's just a long-term play, man. Like you're investing, you know, the time that you're putting in for something that can pay you for the rest of your life, like until you're dead. Like you'd be dead and still getting royalties. You know what I'm saying? Like your kids would be getting your royalties from a beat you made one time. That's the beautiful part about it. You just have to keep that in mind. Like you're creating something and you're building it to get paid passively for years to come. So if you keep going, eventually you'll see the return, and it just starts to work for you. I mean, it's just like stocks. Like you don't buy a stock and then expect that joint to shoot up, unless you day trade, but you don't expect that joint to like shoot up a whole lot. But if you're getting something like long terms, you're gonna buy and hold it. Over time, you'll realize the return on that investment, but you just got to be patient. This right here is a gem. It's not a question, it's a gem. You should always have several other ways to get money. Like don't rely on royalties to be the only stream of income. You gotta get creative and figure out other ways. And another thing is like royalties, they go up and down. Like one month I can see thousands, or not month because you get paid quarterly, but one quarter I can see thousands, another quarter that joint can dip down to the hundreds, and then it can just go up and down. So especially starting out, like man, that joint fluctuates like a mug. So yeah, like until you start getting a good amount of music out there, you just never know what that royalty check is gonna look like. You can't depend on just that. So you definitely gotta create multiple streams and do multiple things, and like just sit and think of like everything you know how to do and figure out a way to monetize that joint, because it's valuable to somebody, and it's somebody that don't know how to do what you know how to do and would gladly pay you for it. It's just up to you to figure out what that is. So yeah, that's a shout out to Uplifted Productions on that. That's super facts. Yeah, Tiny always coming with some dope questions. I'm telling y'all. All right, y'all. This is gonna be the last question right here, and it goes to One Man Band TV. Shout out to you. Is it best to remove our songs from the library after the term or of agreement ends, or keep them in the library? That's up to you, honestly. I can't make that decision for you. It depends. For the most part, I usually just keep them in there. Unless I have like a bunch of music with a library and like something happened to where it's like, y'all ain't doing nothing, I'm about to take all of this and move it over here. Unless it's something like that, I usually just leave it there, especially if they're getting placements. Like if they're consistently getting placements for me, I'm gonna just leave it there and just let it, I'm gonna milk that cow. Like, man, hey, just keep working. If they working for you, they working for me. That's my take on it. So yeah, man, y'all come with the heat every week. So I appreciate it, y'all. If y'all like this information, man, like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe so you get notified and you know every time I'm live. I'll be dropping a new video Friday, so you guys can check that out. Just talking about some tech stuff, man, some Logic stuff for my team Logic, and just some things that I'm expecting in March. So if you want to figure out what that is, man, tune in to that video on Friday. And man, I appreciate the support, y'all, man. Y'all super dope. Again, if you want that free 6-step guide, that's the link to grab that, to get the process on what it looks like to get started in TV and film. And yeah, man, y'all be easy, be safe, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.